Alright, so I'm going to talk about some news regarding The Flash. And yeah, we've got a few things to talk about regarding Flash news. And first, starting off with, there's been some casting for two characters in particular, and I'll get into that in a second. We also got a trailer, and we got some news also regarding Arrow, which I don't know if I'm going to talk about because really, like I said, I've pretty much dropped off of Arrow. Although I will admit I saw a glimpse of the new Arrow, costume. Looks pretty good. Kind of reminds me of it kind of looks like what if Rocksteady ever decided to do a Green Arrow game, that would be the costume they would go with. And he's actually calling himself Green Arrow now. Huh, it only took 3 seasons instead of 10. Right, Smallville? Yeah, and also apparently, I guess I'll just talk about the minor Green Arrow news. Apparently Mr. Terrific will be in the show. I don't know if he's going to be Mr. Terrific or just Michael Holt. But also, we're getting another Batman villain. Yeah, we're getting Anarchy. I don't know how big of a role Anarchy will play, but yeah, we're getting another Batman villain as the big villain. Well, actually not big villain. They just said he's going to be a villain. We don't know how big of a role Anarchy is going to play, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see. So, getting back to, the Flash news, let's actually talk about the trailer. The trailer is pretty much nothing more than one giant recap and reminding me how much how bad of a character Iris was. God, again, I know it's probably the writing here, and it's a CW love fest thing, but god damn, did they just write Iris annoying? It took me a while I've been rewatching the show, and I've been like, God, Barry, why do you love this woman? And don't get me wrong, I love Barry and Iris's relationship in the comics. In here, I'm just like, why are you after this woman again? Why? I don't know. I mean, Laurel, she had her rough spots, but she actually got better in Season 3. And, there were moments in here where you could see in Season 1 where you're like, oh, that's why she, Oliver loved Laurel. The whole thing between him and Tommy as well. So, you could see that. But with Iris, it's just like, oh, you're loud, you're annoying, and, you're flip-flopping between Eddie and Eddie, who's probably going to come back, and yeah, it's just goddamn annoying. Anyway, so the whole trailer is pretty much one big recap until we get a blue blur running around, and sadly it's not Blur from Transformers, which I'm pretty sure what they did for this is just re-edit the running sequences for Flash and just change the color to blue. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. While we have an over narration throughout the entire trailer, remaining trailer. So yeah, apparently Zoom is coming. Yeah, not Professor Zoom, just Zoom. That's what they're calling him. Who could either be, because it looks like it might actually, a lot of people are kind of speculating that maybe it's going to be Eddie, which at this point, yeah, it probably is. And yeah, they're probably going to make Eddie a fusion of Zoom, and they're going to make him like a fusion of Hunter Zolomon and Cobalt Blue. They could easily do that because it does have blue electricity coming off of him, so they could easily do that. But yeah, but there is a Professor Zoom in the New 52 comics, so maybe they'll do that. Maybe they'll make him Cobalt Blue. Who knows? I think they're just going to make, I think at this point, yeah, we're probably not going to get him as Cobalt Blue, so I guess my theory was kind of shot, and I guess the people said, yeah, he's going to be like a fusion of the two. So yeah, he's probably going to be Zoom. I would be surprised if he wasn't. I would be surprised if he was not, if he wasn't made Zoom in this in the new season. I'd be surprised if they just made him, not even made him Cobalt Blue, even. But yeah, it looks like he may be that. But who knows? Maybe they'll throw us for a red herring. It also looks like that, Eobard Thawne is still alive, because you do hear an overview between, you do hear Eobard Thawne's voice, and didn't you get erased from the future, or is this a totally new character? A totally new Eobard Thawne. Did he survive somehow, or is this a younger Eobard Thawne that has now run into this point in time? Who knows, really? Who knows? And it does sound like Harrison Wells' voice, but it's like, you weren't really Harrison Wells, why aren't you, your original face? I'm confused. We also get, this moment of Flash's voice asking, "Who are you?" And then you hear Jay Garrick, and your whole world is in danger. So I guess Jay Garrick is not part in World War II. I guess they're going to do the whole Earth 2 thing again, like they do in New 52 with Jay Garrick. So yeah, it does. So on the other hand, though, we may get a cool adaptation of the Flash comic Flash of Two Worlds, where Barry Allen and Jay Garrick met in the whole Earth 2 kind of story. So maybe we'll get that, like maybe where Flash, where Barry ended up during that whole apocalyptic vortex thingy is in Earth 2, and then we not only could we get Jay Garrick here, we could maybe even get Alan Scott, Ted Grant. We could, all the other members of the JSA. I think that'd be really cool to see, like, other members of the JSA actually show up alongside Jay Garrick, and they're all like, "You haven't formed a team yet? What the hell's wrong with you?" Also, we also have what was I gonna say? We also have another New 52 character show up, Patty Spivot. Yeah, she's been cast. I can't remember the actress's name. The actor who's going to play Flash. The actor who's going to play Flash is his name is Teddy Sears. I don't know who that actor is, honestly. I feel like I've heard him from somewhere. I've never seen anything he's been in. At least I don't think so. But yeah, he is playing Jay Garrick, and Teddy Sears. He actually looks a lot younger. He's only 38, so it's not. That's actually very young for an actor playing Jay Garrick. So I guess they're going for a younger Jay Garrick. And I'm wondering what the costume's going to look like. I would imagine it's kind of like a fusion of the New 52 Earth 2 costume and this, his original suit, because we did see his helmet. So yeah. I'm trying to think of who, the actress playing Patty Spivot. I'm actually looking it up now, because she's also been cast, and she in the comics is, Flash's new love interest next to Iris. But yeah, God damn, I cannot remember her. I cannot remember the actress playing her, but yeah, she's been cast in this show as well, and she will also play Barry's love interest. I guess Linda Park's gone. I guess we gotta wait. We gotta wait for Wally. I can't even finish that sentence. Wally West. As if DC cares about Wally West anymore. Oh, I miss you, Wally. I really do. So yeah, we got that. We've got now Patty, and now we got another love triangle. Whoa. There's some news that, and she's also apparently going to be like the Felicity. She's going to be the Flash's equivalent to Felicity. Oh, God damn it, no. I don't even know much of the character because I haven't really read a lot of the New 52 because I don't, it's been kind of a clusterfuck. So, yeah, the fact that you already made me not like this character as making her just another Felicity has just made me go, eh. So, but I do want to give hope. Jeff Johns is still the showrunner. There's still a lot of great writers there. So I'm hoping, I'm still very optimistic about this show. I really am. I really hate to sound like I'm shitting on it, but I'm not. I actually really am excited for Jay Garrick to make an appearance. I'm really excited to see that. I'm also kind of interested to see where they're going to go with Zoom. I also would love to see Grodd. Can we get Mirror Master finally? Can we get that? Can we get Mirror Master in this season? Get the Rogues together? Get all that shit together. Anyway, so you guys tell me, what do you guys think of all the news that has come out for Flash Season 2? Do you guys like the idea of Jay Garrick coming, and do you want to see, like, Alan Scott, Ted Grant, and all the other members of the JSA? What do you think also for, Green Arrow finally calling himself Green Arrow, Oliver finally calling himself Green Arrow, Anarchy in the show? Yeah, we got a few things, maybe, the whole thing of, like, I don't want to watch because Season 3 was such a train wreck. I might, with all this new news, I might, keyword might here, give the first episode of Season 4 the benefit of the doubt, and at least give that a shot. Maybe they'll kill off Felicity, and it'll be his reason to come back. Anyway, so once again, I don't mean to sound like I'm hating on it, I just hate that they're going to be taking the same steps for, what made their first show go bad. But who knows, maybe they learned from their mistakes and are now moving on to something else. Anyway, so once again, you guys tell me what you guys think of all this. Hope you all enjoyed this video on a whole, and I will see you guys later.